Welcome to 90 Day Fiance
Three-way
Three-Way.
replay.
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 Okay, episode 4, damage control. How's it going?
He's good.
Great.
It's kind of cold outside.
Yeah. Cold like I don't have anything for
Yes.
Cold like Mike and Natalie's relationship.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
That's true. We can start with them.
Good. Get him out of the way.
Okay, here we go. I mean, I feel like this episode, I don't know, it didn't have like so much content, but whenever we say that, it's like always the one that we end up talking the most about. So
They were in like one scene. I don't remember seeing too much of them.
Right. They were in a hotel. Well, at least Natalie was. And Mike left her there. And then she drove all the way back to Squam by herself. And then she met up with Mike and she wanted him to apologize. And he was like, no, apologize for what? And then she decided that, okay, it was her fault for bringing up something bad on his birthday. And so she said sorry. And now everything is wonderful. And they have the best relationship in the whole world. Oh, so sweet.
Man, do you think she's like trying to martyr herself by like saying she's the one who needs to apologize and then apologizing? But then she keeps is the one who also keeps bringing up old stuff.
I mean, it seems like it, but like Mike is kind of dramatic.
Especially when she was like, okay, are you going to apologize? And I was like, oh no, it's not going to be one of these again. Because it took him forever to answer. And I was like, is this going to be like a ring situation? He holds it over her head forever. But I do think that Natalie is honestly loca.
She did look kind of loca, like when they were standing in front of the truck. And then she demanded an apology, and then she just flipped the switch when he wouldn't apologize. And she kind of looked at him in a weird way. And then she started doing the forgiveness dance. And then she says like a totally different thing to the camera, like in the confessional or whatever. I don't know. It's weird.
Should he have apologized to her for walking out and leaving her there by herself?
I think he probably could have explained himself better. He could have probably said something along the lines that, yes, I apologize for leaving. That wasn't the right way to handle it, but I didn't want to get upset. And I just needed time to think and cool down.
I agree. I think he should have apologized. Yeah, maybe it was extra like hurtful to him because it was his birthday. I don't know.
But was that a justified reaction? I mean, it seems so dramatic. I asked you this last time.
But I mean, like, let's say somebody keeps bringing up the same old stuff. Isn't that something that would drive you insane, though? Like, if they keep bringing up old stuff and you thought you were past it?
Were they in the relationship when people were, like, sending their boob pictures? Because, I mean, if this was not during the time that they're together, how is that even her business?
I don't know. He said it was years ago, though, right?
Yes, I'm assuming no.
All right. Maybe he brought it up. Like, they were just hanging out one day and chit-chatting, and he didn't know at the time that every little thing he said would later on be, ingrained in her mind, and she would just bring it up. And she's like, so do you have any girlfriends that you are still friends with? And he was like, no, I mean, I do talk to this one chick. She sends me boob pictures before, but not anymore. And then ever since then, she's like, I don't want to meet any of your friends, especially the ones that send you boob pics. And then in his mind, Mike's like, this is crazy. This B is crazy.
I mean, she is kind of crazy.
I don't really know if this is a situation, but it would drive me crazy if you talk about something and you're like, okay, I forgive you. I understand. If it did happen, let's say, and they were together and she's like, okay, I understand. I love you. And they kiss and they make up. And then she ends up like bringing it up over and over.
Yeah, I mean, that's enough to make somebody go crazy. He needs to break up with her and she needs to break up with him.
Coming. It's coming.
It is. And they're going to go to Mike's mom's house, Trish, for Thanksgiving, and we can only see that it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a great reunion for all of them.
Good for them.
I don't know about any of that.
And then let's see. Well, we did learn a little bit about Mike too, that he was an only child and he was as big as a moose when he came out, and he calls his mom every day. The end.
That's cute.
Yes. I mean, who else should we move on to? I mean, should we do Asuelu and Kalani or save them?
Yeah, well, you brought them up, so go ahead and just do it.
Oh, God. Oh, God. They go furniture shopping. Kalani and her sister, her beautiful, beautiful sister. And that's where we find out that Asuelu has a game room where he plays video games and also goes to sleep. But occasionally he'll go to Kalani's room to boom boom with her pom-poms. And she feels like there's no romance. Okay. And he only goes to her to do that. And it sounds like she's not getting anything from it. And then her sister cries about it.
Jokes for them.
He hits it and quits it every night.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so Kalani says that she feels like there's no romance, and it's because she has to mommy him. He has never seen the like love and romance and date night modeled by his parents. So she feels like she has to be the one to get this out of him, especially since he's the father of the kids.
You know what this reminds me of is like when you're in that relationship and like somebody needs to change and one person wants to change them, and then they spend all this time and effort on improving them and making them a better person. And that person breaks up with them and then gets with somebody else.
Oh my God, right? That is so terrible.
Yeah, it feels like it might be that kind of relationship. Like he'll learn a lot and then just like bounce to somebody else. That's why you shouldn't get with somebody who like you feel like you need to mother or change, you know?
Well, did she have to before? It seems like she started doing this well into their relationship.
Oh, because they used to be very active. Like she said, they used to get it on all the time before.
Yeah, they used to have. I mean, it seemed like they were pretty compatible before. And so then when they got pretty serious, that's when they were not really on the same page about things.
Like she didn't know that it was going to be this way after they had kids. Like it changed everything when they had kids.
Or like when they lived together.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that too. She couldn't have known. Like it was just like a lust in the beginning and then she couldn't really tell. But I mean, I feel like there should be ways to tell in the earlier stages of a relationship. She could have like caught on, unless she was just as lustful as Asuelu and just taking out the D. I don't know.
Or he was in Samoa and he was very self-sufficient. He had a job and he knew how to live there. He's probably very confident. And then he moved here to the United States and, no job, doesn't know the culture, doesn't know, a lot of things here. And he feels, he doesn't feel as empowered as he did when he was in Samoa. So she has to mommy him more. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to put, give him some credit.
Yeah, I mean, that could be the case as well. But I mean, even if that is, when you have to mommy your partner, isn't that like a really, really bad sign? I guess it happens a little bit for you learn from each other, right? But it seems like it's so one-sided for them.
Yes. Well,
and it seems like extra hard because he doesn't speak English as well as she does. And it really seems like she's his mom because she really has to explain it like he's a kid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. They do have 2 little ones. He just came here not too long ago. I mean, they say like kids at this age is one of the hardest trials and tribulations you go through as a couple. So if they can get through this, Asuelu, I don't know. I feel like, guys, in this episode towards the end, I didn't think he went too crazy. What did you think about their argument? Okay, so let's just jump into their argument about how she's like, okay, we have different things of romance, different ideas of what it is. And then And she's like, you know, sometimes you could show love by being like, oh, my wife is tired. Let me bring dinner. And I was like, well, I bring you pizza. She's like, oh, yeah, that's true, honey. But, you know, my brother also brings me food. So, and then he gets upset about that. And then it makes her start crying. And he says that he feels that he's not being heard because whenever he gives his opinion, she starts crying.
I think the
can see that.
tears are from like someone who's had enough. Like there's nothing else she can say. If he's not getting it at this point, there's nothing else that she could say. That's why she resorts to crying, because he still doesn't get it. I mean, like all she was trying to say was, my family also does the same thing. Like you could do something that they couldn't do. Like, you know, you could figure that out. And he's like not figuring it out.
So
He needs
really,
to
so
be told.
you don't see his side. Like that is kind of a form.
Yeah, that's an acts of service. That's
Yeah,
his love language. It's their acts of service.
yeah. And
But
she
I
was
think
kind of
she
trashing
wants,
it.
no, she wasn't. I think she wants to be told that, you know, I love you. She wants to be a little bit more romantic. I mean, she was trying to really be explicit about there is no romance in this relationship. Like, do romantic things, like set up romantic scenarios. She's even been explicit. Do role play just to make the sex a little bit better, because at this point, he's not getting it.
This I agree with. But I do think Kalani should have known that this is what she married into. That she knows a lot about the Samoa culture. She always says in Samoa culture, this, and that. You know, they stay together forever. They don't believe in divorce. They don't have this romance thing and such. So, I mean,
Do you think she learned that after the fact though? Like she actually didn't really think about the Samoan culture beforehand, and then she only really thought about that stuff after she got with Asuelu.
well, you made your bed.
It does suck.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's okay. You get divorced. It's fine.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what I mean. It's just like, you know what? You guys are not compatible. You're not on the same page. It's okay to know that divorce is an option.
Do you feel like Asuelu is trying?
He is trying, but it's not what she wants from this relationship.
You don't think he'll ever get to that point?
No. If he hasn't gotten there by now, like he's not gonna get there. Even after, like, what else can she do? She's already like mommied him, like we said, so long, and like they even tried to get another house, and yeah, she just spends a lot of time explaining. She's cried so many times. Like, what else can she do? You know?
They have a lot of communication issues. I don't know. It's so funny because you can almost see how they can get along and be funny together. Like right in the beginning when she was talking about the role playing, he's like, okay, role playing, that's weird. But then, you know, she kind of explained it more and he's like, all right, then I'll be the kayak boy and you come down and lose your virginity to me. And they were laughing and having fun. And then it just went sideways so fast. Like that. It was just, it took a turn for the worst. And it's sad. It's sad when you see it play out because you're like, wait, if if that one person, that's the thing about relationships though, it goes deep. It's not just that one thing that they say. It's just like all the patterns that happen over and over and over.
Like if the person says, yeah, like I was gonna say, like if somebody triggers something, it seems like he's very triggered about like her bringing up her family. Yes. Even if she's trying to bring it up in a context of like something totally innocent, if she does, like he just goes off and like you can't really talk to him anymore after that. Do you think if they did role play, it would help?
No. God.
No?
Maybe. If she wants romance.
Not a relationship fixer. Role play? What is this? 50 Shades of Grey? Even they didn't end up together at that, I think.
I thought they did end up together. They did.
Yeah, in the third book, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't read it. I didn't even watch it.
Yes, I believe they ended up together. Mm-hmm. I don't know. She's looking for romance, so it's a start. Why not try? Try anything. And Asuelu said he's willing to try anything. It's just that,
love just language.
What? They're like romance?
Yeah. Is there a big difference between like the archetypes of role playing versus like role playing as actual people? What did he think that she wants role play as like specific people that they knew?
Role play as like George Clooney.
Didn't he say like Superman and like Superwoman? That's what he thought. Yeah, when he was thinking role playing, he was thinking of the Hulk and Superwoman, Wonder Woman.
But she was thinking more like archetypes, like job type, like businesswoman and businessman, kayak boy.
Are
The
you
plumber,
guys
the plumber.
are you guys
That's a good
into
one.
this role play? Would you try it? Would you try this?
Yeah, probably. I would probably dress up like a wizard casting fireball.
Oh, so you're along the Asuelu line, along the like
Oh, we're talking about like
fantasy.
we're talking about like sexual role play. No, that's
Yes.
weird. I thought we were just like live action role playing.
I was like, oh,
LARPing?
so
You
you
want to LARP?
you follow Asuelu.
I want to
Uh-huh.
LARP. Yeah, I would LARP. I would
What's
LARP so
LARP?
hard. Live action role play.
Oh, I see.
I mean, yeah, I think I would try, but I think I wouldn't be able to take it seriously. I think I would just laugh the whole time. Would
Same.
you?
I would be like Ross and Friends when they tried to role play.
What happened?
I think it was one of his fantasies was getting together with Princess Leia, and then Chandler messed it up for him. So all he kept thinking about was his mom dressed as Princess Leia.
Oh, no.
He couldn't think of it anymore.
Didn't Rachel also say that he liked to pretend that she was like a prehistoric woman and he was discovering her?
That's a good one.
That is a good one. That is so funny. That's a good one. That's a good one.
And it's related to his job. So he could do
Exactly.
that.
That's
That's
what makes
why.
it funnier.
Would you role play?
Yeah, why not? But I'd probably laugh. Probably a funny thing.
Yeah, I would
What-
probably also laugh.
What comes to mind when you think of role play? What is the intriguing roles for you?
The pizza delivery guy, the plumber,
I like the
the
teacher and
delivery guy.
the student and the professor. I like that one.
Oh, that's a kink.
Because it's naughty.
That's a
It's off.
kink.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
that's
taboo.
a kink.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
That's a kink.
Okay. Do you guys think that Asuelu lost it? Because she was all like, after he kind of got upset, she was like, "Oh, welcome back. Long time no see." Like it was the old Asuelu. How do you guys think he went overboard?
Yeah, he was cussing at her.
I think it was bad, but it's not as bad as before.
Yeah, I guess so, right? It's like he was really bad before, and this one was, I feel like, all right, it's not too bad. He wasn't he just saying like your effing brother?
I mean,
That is
that's
pretty
a
bad.
pretty bad temper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it just shows that he's graduated to less bad. It's not like straight cussing her in the face, calling her a bitch, and then leaving and then blocking her on
know.
social media.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
He was really bad before. So right. He was bad, but not as bad as before.
Not that like you should stay with somebody so that they just become less bad. She should have got rid of him before, but it does show some change.
Anyway, she should be best friends with Tiffany, and they can like both talk together and talk about how bad their significant others are. Just get together, have a drink.
Yeah, can't wait for that tell-all. Yeah.
Right? And be like, cheers, and talk about how crappy our significant others. Let's move on to Tiff and Ronald.
Is Ronald that bad?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, okay, let me hear from your like fresh perspective. Since I already known them from other 90 days, what do you think? You don't think he's that bad?
I mean, I guess the only thing wrong with him is he doesn't have a job, but he seems to love the kids. I guess that's not enough.
What about when she says that he's like, he doesn't make an attempt to even help her with diapers or to buy any like tickets to go see them, but he can afford to like fix up his motorcycle and other things?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking that the motorcycle is what he needs to get around. So if that's a necessity to be able to, make a living, then you have to spend that money. I think that's what he was trying to get at. Was like, I had to spend that money.
Okay, so he's spending that money to, work odds and end jobs, but he doesn't send her anything or make any effort at all to help her.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yes. So
I mean, I would like to defend him, but I don't know, right? I don't know if he doesn't make an effort or if he does make an effort.
Well, just from what we've heard from her, he hasn't.
Yeah, but
And that's why she's like so upset.
what I'm hearing from him is just like the money I do make is not enough to help you anyway.
But it's kind of like the Andrew and Amira situation where he should have just went to Mexico City, even though he probably wouldn't have been able to do much, but just to show that he really cared and wanted was concerned about her safety, even though he probably, would have done nothing, would have changed
It's
nothing.
like, yeah, it's that's what I think. It's she's asking for a gesture of like, generosity, or to at least show that you're putting in some effort, because it seems like he's even like trying to argue with her, like he's mad at her that she canceled the tickets when she's always bought the tickets, and she just wants him to buy it just once time.
Her
He's
love
even
language
arguing with
is
her that.
her love language is acts of service.
When you have kids, that's every mom's love language. Every mom with a kid, their love language immediately shifts to acts of service. Okay, so Tiffany is like, she's with her son and they're building a bed. And I just feel so bad. Like Daniel, he seems like such a great kid. And I feel sad that they're going through this. And even Daniel has his own like comments. He's like, yes, my mom and him, they fight, but he's really nice.
They made me feel really sad. I felt bad.
I know. I was like, this poor kid.
Yeah.
Like, this was from the very beginning, like with that Tiffany had Daniel call him dad. And I was like, oh, that's a big mistake. Even before they got married or anything. Because now he's so attached to Ronald and they're not going to work out. And then what?
Yeah, I mean, doing that in the beginning, like it kind of puts a lot of pressure on them to make it work, even if it's not the healthiest thing. So I don't think that was good.
He could still be a dad to him, even if they're not together, because he still has a daughter.
I think that's true.
Yeah, they will be connected in that way, forever with the daughter.
Yeah, he seems to really love them.
He does. He does.
Yeah, when they seem to really love him too.
Right. In the previous 90 days, Daniel, he just was so excited to have a father and that father figure and to have him around. And it was just like, oh.
Yeah. Even Tiffany was like, it's just so nice to hear. Can I call dad?
Oh.
Right? Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So then, Ronald gets mad at her for getting her own place and buying furniture. And then she's like, how could this guy who does nothing still expect more from me, like to his face and like on national television? And I was like, ouch, that's so messed up. This man who does nothing, who wants more.
Yeah, it's gonna be an awkward tell-all.
That's like something that you would regret. I mean, for me personally, like, oh, that's like a big regret. The father of your child, or even for Kalani too. This is bad to put yourself. Why are these people on the show?
They're getting paid.
I mean, it's entertainment. I mean, it would be really boring if they all got along wonderfully.
Yeah, that's why they kicked off Rebecca and Zian.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then he says that he got some job, a temporary job working at a bike shop, and she's like, I would love to be happy for him, but I've been working since I was 14. Does he want me to like clap my hands for him? Nobody clap for me. He should be doing it. He's 30 years old. He should be having a job and taking care of his family. Oh God. Girls. Tiffany and Kalani, they seem so smart too. How did they get themselves in these situations?
Yeah, that's what I say. It blinded them in the beginning, and then they just fell for it.
This is what I'm going to tell my daughters, you guys. I mean, you have to pick the right person because they can change the whole trajectory of your life. If you don't pick the right person, you could be having a great upbringing, having a great job, and you pick the wrong person and they could drag you down. Look at Whitney Houston. Look at Britney Spears. Okay. They picked the wrong man And it just brought them down to a terrible, terrible situation. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there.
It's life lessons for you listeners out there.
Yes.
Pick your right one.
You have to think really hard when you make those choices.
Be picky. Have your criteria set up first.
But don't be too picky.
I mean, they just have to. Yes, exactly. The good. They're good morals. I'd say at least that align with you. Whatever it is aligns with you. I mean, good career. They could hold down a job at least. Supportive family. If you're thinking about having a family, that
nice
your partner should be able to be respectful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Rebecca. No, not Rebecca. What's the blonde's name? With Natalie. Wants a man that respects her.
Oh, right. My man.
I need my man to respect me.
Yeah. But she's kind of crazy. So I get, do you think Natalie had really high standards? That's why she left all three of her husbands.
I don't know, man. She had high standards. Mike, really?
Yeah.
Girl, do a little bit better.
Were the other two Ukrainian?
I think so.
She needs to find somebody as crazy as her.
Yes.
I believe there's somebody out there for everybody.
Uncle Bo. Uncle Bo.
That's too crazy.
It's a different kind of crazy. She needs her brand.
Actual mental crazy.
She needs to be with one of those guys, after they fall in love, they turn to a life of crime. It seems like she'd be that kind of person.
She needs to be in a Bonnie and Clyde relationship.
Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde. That's what she needs. Two people who are both crazy.
Okay, let's move on to... Let's do Angela and Michael. Let's just get them out the way because not really much happened except that Michael was able to speak to the boob doctor, and the boob doctor was able to make him feel better that everything was going to be fine. And then my question is, did she ever end up talking to the kids? Did you guys see? I don't know if I missed it or something, but I'm I know last episode she was trying to call them and they didn't answer. And I don't know. Did
she
you
never
see
did?
Anything?
No.
Man.
Yeah, she said she didn't.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I don't think I would go under unless I made that contact. I don't know. You never know, especially with all her health problems.
That she's making for herself, having a cigarette the day of her surgery. I was man, you really you just really do what you want to do, huh? That's crazy.
Okay, yes, and then she tells Jojo that if something happens to her, if Jojo can help out with all the grandkids and her daughters. I was Jojo is a good friend. She's a very
Maybe
good
she's just
friend.
saying that. What exactly would she do?
She'd babysit.
Yeah.
Provide money.
Make sure they're okay.
Yeah. Jojo seems like one of the few friends who's not just there to be famous or something. You know how we see some cameos from people who come in and out and you're they're just trying to become famous or get TV time. She seems like she's a genuine friend.
She does. She seems very supportive.
And that's all there. Okay, and let's do Andrei and Libby. Andrei, this guy, I can't believe this guy. Can you guys believe him?
The ball's on this guy. The ball's on this guy.
He's the one who made me the most tired this episode. Seeing him was so annoying.
Yeah, guys, I think I hate him the most.
Okay, go ahead. Just jump right into it. Why?
Oh, go for it. Tell us the background, backstory.
Okay, so he's going with Chuck to look at a house, but Chuck just wants to sort of bring him along in order to learn the business, sort of bring him into the family business. He's doing Andrei a favor by bringing him along. But when they get there, or when they're on their way there, Chuck says that Charlie is going to be there. And Charlie's a family business, so of course Charlie's going to be there. And then Andrei goes into his spiel about I'm not going to work with Charlie. He's better not tell me what to do. He's not my boss. It's just me and you. I'm just working with you. And then Chuck's no, we're all going to work together. I want us all to get along and to work together. And Andrei's no, just me and you. He just says it over and over. That's what's actually going to happen. And they get there, and then they see Charlie, and then they immediately start fighting. And then Becky comes out of the woodwork out of nowhere, like a Becky does.
Right?
And she's like, "What the hell are you?
Becky does.
What the hell are you doing here?" Like a drama. Why is he here and I'm not here? I better be the listing agent on this property. And then Andrei's like, "What? No." He probably doesn't even know that he was going to be the listing agent, or like how it was all going to go down. But then the second that Becky says that she wants to do it, he's like, "Oh, I want it. That's for me. That's mine." And so they all go off on each other. And then he just like immediately just talks about how it's all about, it's me and Chuck. I'm working with him. We're splitting this. It's just us. It's 50-50, me and him. And it's just between us. And then there's like everybody else telling him, trying to explain exactly how the family business works. And he's just not getting it. He's not willing to go for the bottom up.
I know.
Yeah, they should have been clear with this guy what his role was from the get-go. Like,
you don't think they were clear? I feel like they were clear.
I don't think Chuck told him, "You're not doing anything except handyman work." Like, I don't think he's like it, because he didn't explicitly tell him what his role was, and he kind of dragged it on. Mm-hmm. Then Andrei played in his mind, this is what's going to happen.
I thought he told him in the last episode, like, you need to learn the business first.
Okay, what does that mean to Andrei, who already says, this is what I want to do?
And then he said, no, you have to be part of our business first and work with Chuck and work with Becky.
And then he said, I don't want to work with Chuck. I only want to work with you. So then what do you say?
Didn't he already say that? No, it's like a family business.
That's what I mean. He wasn't explicit. He didn't
he said he wasn't going to give him the money. He's like, no, I'm not going to give you the money unless.
That's not it. It was the fact that he didn't say to him, you will work under Charlie.
He didn't say that.
You will not do anything with any type of realty. You will report to Charlie. You will do what he says. You will learn the ropes. And then you're going to report to everyone in the family. He should have said that. And then if he couldn't accept that, if he kept saying it or he kept insisting, no, I only want to work with you, Chuck should have cut it down. Like, he should have shut the whole thing down. He could have been like, if you can't accept my terms, you cannot work in the family business, and I will not loan you any money. You're on your own.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's not. I feel like the reason why he's not going to do that is because he's trying to, like, sort of parlay his way into trying to make it work for Libby. He's trying to create that peace, but he doesn't really understand. Like, there's no way. Like, Charlie was already trying to boss him around and like be super condescending and mean to him, and like there's no way that Andrei was going to take that, right? So he just doesn't get it. But I understand like what he was trying to do, but he should know by now that it's just not going to work. Like, they're not going to be able to work together.
Yep.
So they need to find another way. And but does Andrei, like, he has his license, right? So he doesn't need exactly to go through them.
Well, he would be a realtor. He wouldn't be the one like flipping a house.
Mm-hmm.
So
he doesn't want to learn. He just wants to already like be at the top.
Yeah, he doesn't want to learn. He doesn't want to humble himself, and he thinks he's like, top shit. But like, bro, you don't know nothing. Like, relax.
Just like he feels that Chuck should throw money at him, just because Chuck helped with the wedding of his other daughters. That doesn't mean you deserve money. Why is he so entitled? Yeah. His parents seem so nice and humble. Where did he come from?
I also don't know why he just really thinks that he's better than everyone in the family.
I was surprised to hear that Charlie and Chuck are 50-50. I didn't know that in the company. And the way that Chuck was going to figure this out was that he says he was going to use his profits to pay for Andrei's handyman work. And Charlie was like, no, I still have a say. What do you think about that? As in, like, he can still say, like, so if Chuck said he wanted Andrei to learn and Charlie was like, no, do you think Charlie has a right to say that?
Who's he going to learn from, though? He has to learn from Charlie, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think Andrei's going to end up humbling himself, and it's going to be part of the show, and it's going to be the drama.
Oh, really? I feel like he's going to just quit and go back to OnlyFans.
I know. For his sake, I wish he could humble himself.
Yeah.
It's so like kind of annoying to watch someone who think they're better than everyone.
Yeah. That was what was so tiring about it.
Yeah, there was an
like,
argument about nothing. They were arguing about nothing
yeah.
because he just kept saying, Chuck told me this. And then he was like, no, I never told you that.
Right. Chuck, I know. Right when Becky walked in, he's like, Chuck, you told me that I could be the listing agent for this property. This was my property.
Right? He was like, I ain't tell you shit, bro. We never had that discussion. You were here to learn.
He needs a job description. He needs to write it down.
He needs a job
and give it to him.
Yeah, explicit, point by point, what he's doing on a day-to-day basis.
And set those boundaries of take it or leave it. Yeah, this is what it is. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, they should have just said, these are the terms. If you don't accept the terms, you cannot work in the family business. You're on your own. Figure it out. Until you can accept that these are the terms, you cannot work.
Correct.
I wonder what he would do when faced with that ultimatum.
He's gonna leave. He's like, hell no, I'm not gonna put up with this.
Yeah, I can do it on my own. Okay, do it on your own then, dude. If you can do it on your own, why are you asking for $100K?
And then he could see him fail, and he'll humble himself hopefully after that.
No, he'll be like, you know what? I like being a stay-at-home dad. This is the place for me. He looked like he was doing a good job, so maybe he'll realize that. Although, didn't Libby say like it turned her on or something that he was like the breadwinner?
What a weird
She made
kink.
some kind of like funny, some kind of funny comment like that.
Like he's gonna bring home the bacon.
Yeah. Well, and I get to stay.
Is that
at
weird?
home.
Do you think that's weird?
No. I mean, that's been like the dynamic for a long time up until recently, right? That like the man brings home the bacon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you guys think it's weird?
No, I don't think it's weird.
No, I don't think it's weird. I think it has like maybe it's some people like being taken care of. Maybe it has to do with that.
All right. Maybe it sounds weird because these days, women are more about like, women empowerment. Women can work too.
Mm-hmm.
But women also have the choice to want to stay at home and to have their man be the breadwinner. So they're well matched. If Andrei could go out and get the bacon.
If he can.
Let's see. Okay, Jovi and Yara. Okay, I feel like ever since they had the baby, their dynamic looks so much more cuter. Like they get along more. Like I just see the love between them that I didn't see before.
Really? I feel like they're still fighting.
I know, but I feel like Jovi's more really not as bad as before though.
Oh yeah, she's not like crying like she was.
I mean, she's still crying.
And he's
Kinda
not
dramatic.
treating her totally like a jerk that he was.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
far.
Yeah, it's not as bad as before. But I still feel like
the tears now are just like she's sad because he won't be around.
Yes. Okay, yeah. And I thought it was funny that when they went to the restaurant and Jovi's like, I didn't even know it was legal to breastfeed in public.
Yeah, that's a man who's lived in like the 50s.
Or a young man who's been partying a lot, and, like never had to deal with such things.
I know. It's like, how do you think mothers feed their kids?
Pull out the bottle. I mean, I have to say though, it is weird. Like when I first had to breastfeed and versus it was like odd.
You never whipped out your boob in like a restaurant and be like, all right, lunchtime for you too.
I mean, I did, but I covered myself up. But the first time, like the very, very first time I had to do it, I was like, please don't cry, baby. Like we went to a restaurant. I was like, don't cry, baby. Just, just let us finish our food. And then, the baby cried and I was like, oh man, I'm about to whip out my boob right now. I don't know. It's really weird. I don't know. It wasn't very comfortable for me, but eventually did I ever no, I wouldn't say I ever got fully comfortable with it. I'm like, I have to go to the car. I'll be back. Feed the baby there. Yes. I mean, but it's very natural, but I just feel like our society just makes it feel odd. But maybe the more that it happens, the more natural it will be to society. Right? Is this just me? Okay. And oh my God, their food looks so good too. I was like, oh my God, how are you going to leave that food? That food looks awesome. Those crab legs, Yum. Oh,
You
sorry, I
probably eat that all
forgot.
the time.
I know. Dylan can't have any more crab
I
legs.
cannot.
Oh,
Weird
so sad.
allergies. I know.
Okay. And then do you think that Yara is being a control freak?
Yes, 100%.
Well, she's a new mom, so this is her first time.
I don't know, man. My sister was just like, "You take the baby. I'm going to take a nap."
Oh my God, that was so mean. That was so mean.
Even the first one, the
Yes.
first it seems like it's in their first few months, right?
I don't know. I was the one freaking out because the baby would make weird sounds, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's broken. What do I do?" And she'd be like, "It's fine." And I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Oh my gosh, babies, they make so many weird noises when they're sleeping. I had no idea. I had no idea. Like brand new babies, they're like snoring or something. I was like, what? What's all this noise? Oh, I feel something.
She needs a new baby.
Oh my goodness. Okay, but their baby is so small. It definitely like within, I don't know. Yes, the first month. That looks like a 1 month old. Can't be more than 1 month. That baby.
Do you think
And
she's like being a control freak, or is it because like it's specifically because of Jovi? She doesn't trust Jovi.
no, I think it's just her going through the phases, hormonal, and also she's a new mom, and you get really anxious, right? That first baby feel really anxious, and she's probably going through that. Some moms do more than others, but you hear about that all the time. But she should understand that Jovi's trying, and he also wants to be the father, like what he said. And I think he needs to communicate that to Yara. Like, listen, I only have 1 month here. I'm going to miss 2 months of her life. Let me try to be a father right now. I understand that you feel this way. I totally hear you, but it's going to be okay.
That's true. He really needs to take advantage of this time before he leaves for work. Because there's a lot of firsts in those first few months, right? It's gonna miss a lot of important things.
I agree. This is like one of the few times I actually feel bad for Jovi. It's like poor Jovi. He just wants to be a dad. He said, I think he said his parents got divorced. Is that what he said? But how come his dad was around? Or did he say he grew up without his dad? I don't know.
He said they got divorced when he was really young.
Yeah, why is he around?
So is that his stepdad then?
Confused.
Remember in like the previous season, like it was his mom and I thought it was his dad.
Maybe it's his stepdad, or maybe his mom and his dad just like get along still.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, right. So he said they got divorced and Yara grew up without her dad, and he wants to be there for his daughter. So Yara should understand that. Yes, babies, they need their mama, but they need their daddy too. Come on, girl. She needs a friend. She needs a friend who's had a baby. She needs to go talk to Kalani. Oh, wait, Kalani don't got time for that. She has a lot of issues. So. She can call me.
Another 90-day. Oh, she can call you. You guys can be friends.
Call me, Yara. I'll help you. Okay, let's see. Julia and Brandon. We start off with Betty telling Julia what to do at the farm. And again, she's playing the victim, but we all know that she chooses to work at the farm. Julia does, so she could spend more time with Brandon. But then she feels afraid that they're going to end up living there forever. Brandon says they're going to move, but it's probably not true. So she decides to take a step forward for her career, and she meets up with a wedding planner who is so not helpful. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you guys like that wedding planner who was supposed to show her like what it takes to be a wedding planner?
Maybe they cut it.
Okay. I hope so, because she seemed like stuck up.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think they just cut it for content.
Like, oh, she's very cute, but she has a long road ahead of her. She needs to get to know Richmond and the people and such. But she did not offer any type of help at all. Wouldn't you say something, like any little thing to help? Like, if you want, you could intern for me, like free, unpaid. Like, I'm not going to pay you, but you can learn something. You know what I mean? Something, anything. Or I could hook you up with somebody who can show you stuff.
Well, maybe it's like a profession where it's like you're not trying to actively encourage people. You're like almost kind of gatekeeping it because you know how hard it is. And you just doubt like a lot of newcomers that will have like the ability to really do well. You know what I mean?
Yes, but that's not a nice move, I'd say.
It's not a nice move. You're right.
And then Brandon likes to play video games.
Let him rest. He needs to rest. He works on the farm. Let him play his games.
I did feel bad for him. Like, I mean, I could just see it from his perspective. He's probably like, yeah, he's like, I work, I do the farm, I do all this stuff with my parents. And then like there's Julia yelling at him, like, who's Melanie? Who's Melanie? Girls should not be friends with boys. I mean, maybe you don't like her. Is she cute? Do you think she's cute? I mean, you may not like her, but maybe she likes you. Maybe she's had these pining feelings for you all these years.
That's
and then blah, 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 blah. She's like going on and on and on.
100% over the top crazy. She needs to relax. Girls can be friends with guys. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I really didn't like her this episode. Just going off and going crazy. He said he was like finally seeing her jealous side. It just seemed like so like unfounded, like illogical. Just all these like random suspicions based off of like nothing. And Brandon's just trying to talk about his like sister or like his friend who's like a sister that he knew in high school. You know what I mean? Seemed totally innocent.
And she said that the friend is, which is true, that the friend is going to be like, oh, remember that time when we blah, blah, blah. She's like, I don't give a F about that. I don't want to know anything about your life before me. It's like, what? Julia, you're crazy.
She's crazy. This is the crazy Julia that we didn't expect.
Yeah.
She didn't want to hear anything about their past. Like anything that a girl brings up that she did with Brandon. She's like, no, that never happened. I wasn't there. And so we see on the next time on, we did everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Okay, so next time on, they actually go out to eat with the friend Melanie and some other dude. And Melanie looked cute, actually. She's a cute girl. What do you guys think?
Agree.
And Julia goes crazy and she's like, you know what? Do you want me to just leave? And she's like yelling in front of everyone. He's like, why can't you be normal? She's like, I am normal. She leaves. I was like, oh, this looks bad. This looks really bad.
Saying you are normal is not a very normal thing to say.
And while you're yelling at it in the public, yelling it in a public space.
Yeah.
And Mike and Natalie, they arrive at Mike's mom's house, Trish, and she's talking to Nat. She's like, have you thought about being a translator? And then she's all like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do because I only have one life and I want to make myself happy.
That was a yes or no question. So no, the answer was no, Natalie.
Trish is like, okay.
Speaking of another crazy person.
Yes. Kalani talks to her dad about divorce, and the dad says that divorce is for people who give up. Oh,
Damn.
man.
Oh, come on. Divorce is totally okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? And he lives with them, so he knows the crap that she's going through with him.
Would he still say that if he hit her? Would he still say that?
You know what? Allegedly, I heard through something, here's some tea, that I think they said that he might have got really mad and put his hands around her neck or something.
Oh, I wish they would get divorced already.
Allegedly, I don't know. May or may not be true. Who knows? But yes. And I don't know. I think that is, remember when Kalani, they interviewed Kalani's mom and she said that she herself has been through a lot with Kalani's dad. So I think, even if he did hit her, but maybe the dad might still say that.
That's messed up. Just get divorced. It's okay.
Yeah, divorce is okay.
You're the one who has to live with it, Kalani. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah, especially if it gets physical. If it gets physical, get out of there. Daniel is talking to Ron and he says okay, if your visa gets declined, we can only go and visit you for 2 or 3 months, Dad. And we have to come back. And Ron is like, nope, you're coming to live here. And Daniel's like, no. You can't make me. And Ron is like, well, I can't keep doing this long distance thing. If they end up not moving here, I'm not going to do this anymore. So that sounds like it's going great. And Jovi says he has bad news to tell Yara and it's going to affect her future. And then we see Yara crying. What do you think is going to happen?
They're going to move.
What the news is?
Yeah. Why do you think he's going to tell her?
I think it's just he has to stay longer than he thought.
Oh, shoot. I was thinking maybe he was going to say he lost his job.
No.
Oh, she would love it. She would want nothing more.
But then she think about how they're going to support themselves, and maybe that would make her cry. Like,
OnlyFans.
Money.
Yeah, she could do OnlyFans.
I don't think is she on. I have not heard about her being on OnlyFans.
She could be for OnlyFans.
Yeah, she could be on the mom's OnlyFans. Like we told you, you could also be on the mom's OnlyFans.
Is there? There's such a thing?
No, we're telling you to make
mom's
it.
only.
Oh, mom's only. All right, thank you. Business idea. I got it.
You can be the first.
Yeah, you can be the first. Mom's only.
I'm not only a member. I'm the president.
Let's catch my picture. Sign up. Subscribe. Angela's waking up from her surgery. And Andrei and Libby, they're talking to I don't know, is it a lawyer, immigration lawyer? And they ask if he's ever committed any crime, because if he did, they would deport him.
Doozy.
Do you think that storyline is fake though? Because I feel like
Yes.
last season they super hyped it and it was nothing.
Yes, I think it's fake.
Did we learn what he did? He just got kicked out, right?
No, they made it seem like he did something, but he didn't, right? Like he just left.
Yeah, it was like,
it
was a nothing story.
He left because they wanted him to do stuff that he didn't want to do.
Or some random, crap like that. Who knows? But I mean, at least it'll be less draining than her and her family dynamic with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just real quick, want to say thank you to everybody who gave us a review. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you haven't left a review, please do so on whatever podcast app you use. It really helps us keep creating the podcast. And with that said, thank you, B. Thank you, Dylan. Anything else?
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.